Hey, welcome everybody to our second night of our Kalachakra program at Shambhala Center. We are all very lucky to be here again, and for Rinpoche to be able to share this transmission with us in this place. Today, Rinpoche will be speaking on the Kalachakra path to help us get an overview of how it's practiced in the Jonang lineage. We will start our teaching with the prayers to request teaching, which we traditionally do for all of them. So if you have the book, The Profound Path of Vajra Yoga, we are using that today. If you're online and have our remade prayers, it's almost exactly the same. There's just one paragraph at the end that is extra that we're not using. Okay. So we will turn to page 8 for the general motivation. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the virtuous merit created by listening to the Dharma, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the virtuous merit created by listening to the Dharma, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the virtuous merit created by listening to the Dharma, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be separated from the bliss that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment, and aversion. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and make oceans of offerings both real and visualized. May I purify my negative karmic seeds from the beginning of time and rejoice in the virtues of all ordinary and extraordinary beings. May the enlightened ones remain until samsara defeated and turn the wheel of Dharma for us. May the virtues accumulated by all beings be dedicated toward obtaining Buddhahood. Om Vajra Bhumiya. The foundation is the pure golden heart. Om Vajra Om. The universe is encircled by a great iron fence, and the center is Mount Merit, the king of mountains. To the east is Woodcock, to the south is Zhongling, to the north is Dominion, and to the west is Balanchoi. The sun, moon, rock, and Flagni, all pleasing and prosperous within the world of humans and gods, complete and lacking nothing. All this love I offer is great devotion to my immaculate root and lineage lines, and to the Mandala, the Vedams, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Tatyagas, Shravas, Dakinis, and all the Dharma protectors. And I compassion accept this Mandala for the sake of all beings, and having accepted this offering, please bless me. Guru Vedam Ratna Mandala We sincerely request from the Glorious One, the kind and compassionate One, the teachings of the common and uncommon vehicles suitable for all beings. May we comprehend the Dharma in our minds and develop all Dharma qualities.
Yergin Shazin comes some Judy, Gerard, Zichin, and Jita, the Love Garden, Sanji, Lila, Malu, Dovi, Tanjin, the Meadow, Huda, Hudu, Jaji, Ban, Morotsugunjo, Rana, Tanji, Kambala, Tandia, Jani, Dacha. Kanga to Junior Zonita, Tanja, Bavi, Tambi, Chuna, Tonza, the Big, Madame de la Chansara. The Jarasons of Giritan Malu, Tajan, Jabring, Tartun, Kolo, Tamia, the Shano, Tonki, Jaso, Shambatan, Saxaman Papa, Tomeja, Hajiton being Urtana Tondan, Tenjons, and more, Yachineripi. Drunki Bankin Japarayanda, Papa, the Lasso, Pawang, Lama, Sechinian Jingirme, Tanja, Yang, to be Okarajani, Kambala, Wanda, Tagon, Container, the Yanda, Changing dollars, Odana, Nibi, Panzo, Sazan, Yankee, Baridana, Saint Preservation, Tata, Danya, Kandi, and so. My Osandana Dolji, Namjurji, Alonson Tafir, Taji, Wandanger, the Dila Amjan, Oxer, Nala, Jujo, Jibana, La, Solo, Kanji Tambi, Dungra, Kanzer, Jan, Kubi, Tenala, Mem, Chozo, Onjimanga, Donton, La, Sobi, Sailama, La, Solo, Jackson Dungar Agenda, Jim Jenam Yaso, Mehon, Gelaso, Simchinaton La, the Donchana, Tamba, Namji, Nunter Sad. So. Kanji Senjura Lani Mandara dans la Jino dans Gao Norio Jimamba Senza Saoni Bela Namakayenda. Kanjira Nija Guanzamba Kainba Teta Tamja Tarwa Tambi Gurgira Tabi Sonyanashin Darasha Andarshoji Tonganji Tena de Shahamara Kirwa Kan Sata Tandar Tambi Chuji Chermbevich Nyambarando Ba Tamchin Darasha Namo Arya Darilai Kadan Ladano Jenakaram Dadame Kanam Roakinji Darka Jazam Barada Tamshirkata Daka Chunatan. Yeah, hello everybody. Today our subject is the summarized overview of the Kalachakra path. So I think important to understand that why we doing Kalachakra empowerment, because Kalachakra empowerment many people do, but different purpose. Some only just doing the promotion. Some doing pieces of practice. So I'm trying to doing is the purpose of the whole path. So first, have to important understand that. Second, who has Kalachakra, the whole path? Really important to understand. Third, Kalachakra path is Vajrayana path, which means Tantrayana path. So therefore, either Mondo, preliminary, actual practice, everything, we have to understand what is the main focus and what is the main principle and what is the real essence. So I'm trying to present in progress way, a revelation way, because we have Tantric a long time. But the result is so-so. So then we have to understand why not so great. The reason not everybody's that great because we are not focusing the essence. We are not emphasizing the essence. Why? Because not many people understand the essence. Not many people understand. I'm not talking about receivers, but even presenters. So we are lost in the details, which means we are lost in the secondary factors. We are not a wrong path. Everybody is not necessarily wrong path, but is focus is on secondary, which means focus is not the primary important. So why, how come all these things, too many details? That we're not going to talk tonight, but just try to understand how we do real focus, the essence, and how we can have real Tantra practice, okay? So I tell you very simple way, easy. The main difference is the Sutayana path means we call 5,000, right? Distance is your enemy. And you have to fight and you have to win, which means you cannot have it. You have to abandon. There's no other way. That is Sutayana essence. So everything is for that purpose. Otherwise, there's no enlightenment. There is no Dharmakaya. There is no Rupakaya. But even Sutayana people agree there is no final enlightenment without Tantric. But you can, from the beginning, you can go Tantric. Don't have to go first Sutayana, then Tantric. No. So that has been long time. Everybody believe that way too. But you don't have to. Why? Because Tantric means you don't have to abandon anything what you have. You don't have to abandon anything you born with. Something you born with, completely abandon is not realistic. That's the reason. Okay, that means I don't have to do nothing. If you are 100% happy, you don't have to do nothing. But if there is something wrong, then what we have to do is not about abandonment. It's not about fighting for, but how we use better way our qualities. Not just the positive qualities such as love, compassion, not only those, but even anger, jealous, desire, all of them. How can we use better? If you know how to use better, you know Tantric. If we have no idea how to use that better way, that means we are not in the essence. Whatever you say, oh, I practice this, sarna, I did this, this retreat, 3-year retreat, blah, blah, blah. All of them, you are lost in the secondary. Okay? So that is the real Tantra. Then Kalachakra is the king of the Tantra. So I'm going to overview today the path. So, from beginning, everybody agrees. Everybody say, oh, renunciation. Oh, we need renunciation. Without renunciation, there is no liberation. That's common sense. Common sense. Then we have, 4 train in the mind and the road, all these things. They're all for renunciation. But probably renunciation, most of the time people have a misunderstanding. Renunciation, some people think, oh, I have to give up everything. Or I abandon everything what I like. It's not about that. If you go Tantra in a way, it's not about you have to give up everything. It's not about you have to abandon everything you like. It's about, is only this or there is other way? Then you realize there is other way. Everything I have, not necessarily abundant. Abundant doesn't mean you find the other way. But you have all of them, but at the same time, the value is different. Which means you are not stuck one way, all things we are touched. For instance, easy. Comfort. Social status. Okay? Recognition. All of them you don't have to bend it, but you have different reason. You seeking fame, you have different reason. You have a much better reason. You may seeking comfort, but you have maybe much better reason. You seeking social stat, but you have a better reason. Those things. So then you don't need abandon anything. Not necessary. Not necessary or you don't have to means it doesn't mean you don't, never, don't, do not. It's not that meaning inside. So you have to see what is necessary. Okay, so that's why. Then after that, everybody knows, take a refugee, we have to have refugee. Yeah, refugee means Jonang have a better understanding what refugee means. Because refugee means the perfect Buddha nature, the full of the quality we already has. So that's why the Jonang is important. Say you believe, you have the confidence on this lineage, which means directly come from Shambhala. So how can you don't have confidence? You have the confidence of the path, you have the confidence yourself. If you do that, that is a true refuge. But another way of saying is, the deepest truth of myself is absolutely perfect, but temporarily not perfect. So that's why I need to do something unveil my perfect enlightenment. It's not seeking elsewhere. And if we can call transformation the process, but the absolute true nature is no need even transform anything. So that's the true refugee. Not taking refuge means don't realize even how we are temporarily limited and still have arrogance. Just we have a little abilities, things, we are over arrogant. That is not refuge. But it's not, some people also misunderstand, refugee, this religious distance is terrible, you put in lower yourself, like this. You put in lower yourself, you surrender something because temporarily is not that right. But also the depth is taking refuge myself. Basically, ultimately, So that's why Buddha said, so Buddha said, yourself is your own protector. So he's talking about the ultimate, not temporary, okay? Temporarily, yes, we need Buddha, we need Dharma, we need Sangha. So that's refuge. So bodhicitta, people have so much talking bodhicitta and too much theories of bodhicitta. You don't need this, all of them. It's very simple understanding. So because common sense, everybody knows, anybody or others more important than oneself. Anybody do this, everybody inspire, everybody respect. Nobody disrespect that universally. So we just train in that mind. So common sense. One way is common sense. The other way, the secret is bodhicitta, is the mental bodhicitta potential we already have. Everybody has. And body's bodhicitta, what I call physical bodhicitta, we already have, everybody has. And the ultimate bodhicitta is Buddha nature, everybody has. So we just need to remind ourselves. If we think limitless, I want to liberate all sentient beings, not just to give them food, shelter, comfort. It's not that. Ultimate liberation. This is become your number one priority. You care about. That's it. Then it's bodhicitta, perfect. There's no need too many theories. May you take process, but it's training. No matter how long take, your mind really become like this. But any training is world priceless. Any training. So that's it. So this changes everything. If you have this intention, bodhicitta, then changes everything. Changes everything means whatever, it's not about what you can do, can't do physically and mentally. Just your motivation alone, if we can see it physical, something detectable, then it's like trillions or innumerable become different, whatever we do. So that's why, bodhisattva, way of life in this say, many things about bodhicitta. Say, one 10 seconds ago, you're not Bodhisattva, but when you had this mind, then you are already Bodhisattva. Then you are the worthy of worship, all three realms already. So like that. So then doesn't matter you sleeping or you are whatever, is this keep going, this bodhicitta's power. Okay, so that's why we're talking about bodhicitta. So yeah, then like we go through the Mondos. I'm talking about the Vajrasarva practice. Everybody has our traditions, our Tibetan traditions has. It's very simple. Vajrasarva practice very simple. Why? Because anything we did wrong, then we have the best solution. We say sorry, and I make up for you. Whatever you wish. So same thing. Just expanding our mind, not just this present, but in many lifetimes, whatever I've done, I'm willing to, purify. It's not about somebody offended, but, our obscuration of our path. And why you choosing Vajrasarva? Because many, many, many reasons. But the simplest reason is that Vajrasarva become a Vajrasarva because his true purpose to purify everybody. So that's why I do it. So mandala is accumulation merits. And many people, and when you're talking about a merit, two extremes people go. One extreme say, oh, I just want merit. I just want merit. I just want merit and nothing else. Think about nothing else. So that means you get merit, but you get less merit. Because you care only, I get merit, nothing else. It's not clever way accumulate merit. But the other extremes think, oh, I don't want merit. They're thinking, oh, if you're doing for the merit, then it's not pure. But they also misunderstood. It's not I giving you this, then I expecting you giving me something next time. Not like that. The merit is whatever you do, the merit is spontaneous. That is the actual fact, the cause and effect. But merit even go more than that, because if there is no merit on the path, when you liberate yourself, the ultimate liberation, Buddhahood, you don't have rupakayas. You are just like Arahat, just nirvana, sitting there, nothing else. But Buddhas have innumerable manifestations and many various levels to liberate sentient beings spontaneously, not with effort, because on the path of the merit. That's why. Without two accumulations, without accumulation wisdom and accumulation merit, it's like two wings of the bird. You can't fly one, one wing. So the same thing. So that's what we have to understand. And then mandala offering these things means is a skillful way to merit, because sometimes we don't have opportunity to accumulation merit, but the mandala is always there. It's represent our whole universe. So that's why you also have ownership this universe, because we are karmically connected. Karmically we own this universe. So that's why. Okay. Then I'm talking. I wanted to say Guru Yoga. Guru Yoga. I think everybody say, oh, Guru Yoga important, oh, Guru Yoga, oh, Guru, root Guru, such and such, not root Guru, blah, blah. Can I have many root Guru? I have to have only one, blah, blah, blah. Or this Guru said, I cannot have other teacher, I cannot have other lineage, blah, blah, blah. But my answer always, what your guru's number one interest in of you? Is your liberation, your enlightenment path, or the guru sees your object and something, his property, or how do you say?
His property.
Yeah, property. Is property or interest in your liberation? If it's interest in your liberation, then it doesn't matter what guru you follow, what path you take in, whatever is good for you, at least feels good for you, the guru should be very happy. What even you concern, I don't understand. That's my answer. But also there's important things I have to understand. Why is everybody say, oh, the guru is the most important, the guru, the guru yoga is the key of the tantra, everything. People saying these things, but why? How come? Is anybody tell you? Anybody told you? Why? How come? I think a very simple way we can understand. Firstly, we have to understand Vajrayana path is not about intellectual. It's not about knowledge. You have to learn a innumerable knowledge and you have to investigate everything. It's not about that. Something you have to go beyond that. Something is you have to go beyond that. Something going beyond that means it's not all your intellect you have to throw away. It's not about that. But it's that is not the most important for you. You have to go beyond that. Okay, if I have to go beyond that, that means some people take it the wrong way. Oh, that means I have to be enlightened. Otherwise, how can I go beyond that? No, you don't have to be enlightened. If you are enlightened, you don't have to even go beyond. You already went to go beyond, But let's say we are just ordinary person, ordinary human being. How you go beyond intellect and knowledge and all these many values, certificate, the social state, so many things, right? How you go beyond that? Very simple strategy. The pure love. How do you know the pure love is not powerful? We never had pure love, so how do we know the pure love is go beyond everything? That's easy to know because even we never had pure love, was still easy to understand because even little love, how powerful. That's everybody experience some degree of love. When you are in love, is all environment, everything is much better. Before you know not in love, it's just ordinary everything. But today, I'm talking in romantic love. And that time, the whole environment changes. That's even a little love, okay? Little love is not unconditional love. whatsoever yet. That indication is the love, the pure love is so important. So how possible anybody I have a pure love? The more possibility should be Guru. Why? Why? Because firstly, we say all the Buddha's teachings everywhere, the Guru is manifestation of Buddha himself. Buddha himself say, I will. That doesn't mean your Guru is perfect. Why? How can be not perfect if is you can think of that. If it's a Buddha, real Buddha manifest, how can be not perfect? Do you remember? Everything we perceive is only our own karmic version. Nothing else. Right? In whatever perfection, not perfect, everything is according to our own karma. It's not the ultimate reality. So that's why your Guru also is how appears is for you. So that's why it's individual. When, like maybe Sutrayana teachers, maybe is very good conduct and everything according to conventional values. But when you go to Tantric, or so bad Guru for these people perceive, but maybe so good for these people perceive. Because individualism. That's why Tantric is not for everybody. Why secret for everybody? The only reason secret because not understandable for everyone. Why not understand everyone? The karmic connection, the about marriage. So that's why. Although, if the gurus have good conduct according to conventional values, it's helpful. But you cannot judge by 100% if you want to be Vajrayana, student, disciple, then you cannot go always in common argument, But I want to tell you why is love to Guru is a devotion. We call it devotion, faith, respect. Doesn't matter. It's love, about love. If we simplify it, it's love. Devotion, everything. If we simplify it, means love. Love means it's so valuable for you. That's why it's a respect, or doesn't matter whatever we say, it's about love. A different aspect of the love, different aspect of the pure love. So that's why it's a little bit easier to pure love to the Guru rather than anybody else. Because anybody else, you have love, but there is association, many other things come together. The samsaric aspects come together. So that's the little bit problem. The other reason why Guru is so important, Vajrayana's essence is pure perception, right? Everybody know. Oh, pure perception is the essence of the Vajrayana. Everybody know. As long as anybody teaching little bit heard Tantric, they should know that. But it's extremely hard to have all pure perception, everybody. or the universe and the world and all humanity, everybody appears, many people appear so badly, and still you have all pure perception. It's not easy. So then you have to start somewhere, right? If you have to start somewhere, then maybe a little bit should be easier, Guru. Even Guru, you cannot have a little pure perception, at least less judgmental. Then where you start? There's no starting point. So that's the two big reasons. The Guru is important to Vajrayana path. Okay? So that's why Guru Yoga is the most advanced, the preliminary practice of the Vajrayana. Okay? So the Vajrayana usually falls in two categories: generation practice and completion practice. That's it. So generation is, if we simplify it, reminding ourselves we are the enlightened being. The deep level of the truth is enlightened being. So we reminding this in our conceptual mind, we reminding this, and then we visualize it. All of these things is again secondary factor. Visualize it. This all mantra recitation, many other things is helping you. It's secondary factor, but the essence is pure perception. Okay, the pure perception, if we simplify it, it just means reminding ourselves true Buddha. It's not we pretending we are Buddha. Okay? Not pretending, it's reminding. That's called generation practice. Then you have too many, deities, too many things difficult to remember, blah, blah, and then people give up. So that means you are lost in secondary factors. That's why you easily give up. But if you understand the essence and focus on the essence, you not easily give up. There's no reason you give up. Okay? So that's easy. So in Jonang simplified, that's why Jonang simplified the generation practice. We don't even practice, it's not means that all Jonang, no single person Jonang not practicing the whole mandala, the deities, or many yitams not doing. It's not that. Yes, some Jonang have all many deities, all the deities. They do long retreat generation, they do that. But what the Jonang do is the mainstream Jonang, which means everybody have to do is only innate Kalachakra. This is 2-arm Kalachakra. It's so simple and very short sadhana. So they focus that. Why? Because the essence is important, not the too much visualizations. Also the same, that doesn't mean you should not visualize it, okay? This means is maybe not necessary for everyone. Okay, means that. So that's why we have this short practice. And then after you done this certain time, usually takes only a month if the full time reached. Okay? And then after that, we have the Wilson practice. So Wilson means you are basically the simple way I explain. You will reach shamatha and vipassana same time, which means our unflexible mind, like brat children, is going to tame. But it's not tame in Sutta way, in common way. It's not that way. It is many special methods to calm the same time vipassana, which means you not just the calm mind, but you have insight. So practice that. Okay, now when you're doing this well, then you go only the completion practice. But the completion practice are 6 yogas of Kalachakra. I'm talking about the mainstream Jonang practice. It doesn't mean Jonang Bas only practice this. No, they can practice. Many people can practice other things, but this is everybody mainstream. Okay. So this is the most important, because this Vinsum and the 6 yogas, nobody knows. Nobody knows in this world. Unless we are very lucky, there's some hidden yogis hide somewhere, maybe who knows. But other than that, if we lost from Jonang, then we lost forever. So that means it's that big there, because that means we lost connection with Shambhala. If we lost connection with Shambhala, then we lost golden age. We're going to lose the perfect peace and harmony for this world. And we continue to suffer as we have been. So that's why I'm saying it's very important. But what I'm saying, I'm teaching a little bit revelation way, which means the traditional Jonang Bas, what they do, only monks nuns teach. Only monks nuns teach. But there's no good reason only monks nuns teach. Why? How come? Because monks nuns means monastic people. Monastic people means emphasize on Patimoksha path. Emphasize on Vinaya. Vinaya means monastic rules. Monastic rules means a Patimoksha path. If you don't know what Patimoksha path means, individual liberation, not bodhicitta. Okay? The rules emphasize on monasteries. Why 6 yogas and everything? Only the highest yoga tantra. Why only monks, nuns? No, makes sense to me. Okay? If anybody can argue, no problem. Anybody hears online, they can go tell incredible scholars, debaters, let them debate. I don't understand. So that's why I thought it's very important to teach lay people. Why? Because lay people means it's not always lay people means inferior. It's not inferior. It's like you are not focused in Patimoksha path. It doesn't mean inferior. It could be even superior, because you focus in Bodhisattva path and Vajrayana path, which means like sun and moon, not like star, the light wise. The other stars have very little light, yeah. The moon have much more better, and the sun even better. So Vajrayana is like sun, okay, and the moon is a Mahayana path. So the only Vinaya, according to Patimoksha, is the little light of star. That's common sense in Buddhism. So why not doing that? So that's why I'm the only person decide and to teach any human being, regardless your cultural background, anything. but properly, not just, properly, because properly means sincerity. I'm asking only sincerity and determination. Okay? That's all. Nothing else. So, now I'm going to overview a little bit the Vajra and the Kalachakra yoga. So also I have rules. I'd never teach anybody, not anybody, if I think is not qualified. Don't teach anybody. But I also don't judge myself everything. I let everybody judge themselves. I make many, many questions and let answer. If they cheat in their own, I can't help. Some people even say, oh, you please teach me this, I'll give you money. Oh, please teach me this first yoga, second yoga, I give you money. I say, no, thank you. You see, money is secondary important, not the primary. Okay, so what does the first yoga means? First yoga means you are no longer distracted by the five senses and the five senses consciousness. So our mind, our mental consciousness always go whatever we see, whatever we smell, whatever, go. Not only this, but also even you don't see nothing, even you don't hear nothing, still go everywhere and non-stopping without awareness. So when you train this properly with your preparation, with you prepared and your sincerity and everything, what happens? You see many, many things you never seen. First, this word we call 10 signs. 10 signs you can see in the dark, even in the dark, completely dark, still you see something you never seen. So this first comes and goes, but if you keep practicing, if you always do the right, then becomes consistent. So which means this we call, some people call empty form, but English, some people told me form of emptiness is more correct English, I don't know. Whatever, Tibetan calls tongzu. Okay, so these ones, when you have this all 10 signs consistently, we call you establish the tongzu. Okay, so that means usually we only five senses and thoughts something, but this time, or you already go beyond of that. You see something nobody see. Okay, so that means indication of your Buddha nature. There's Buddha nature, something go beyond what we know now. So this one. So then, okay, that means you established the first yoga. So what happened? The second yoga, when you practice second yoga, this established mind, yoga, before you see there is something you see. I see this. My mind see this, right? But now, in the second yoga, you feel this is your mind. It's not something subject and object. Is you see no subject or object. It's just my mind. Like that way. So then you become better and better. It's not only just seen, but then you hear something you never heard incredible, amazing things you hear. And then you can practice, then you smell something never smelled. And tactation, everything go that way. So all of them still is you perceive in your own mind, not somewhere else something. So that means, you see, the Buddha nature is within yourself. You've seen that. That's why you feel is within yourself. It's not over there, not over there. And then if you go further, then third yoga, what happens? When third yoga comes, you see all this smell, everything, not just in your mind, but even you can, when you that time is really high, so you see everything, even can't separate from your inner movement, like wind and everything. The wind, the visible wind, breathe this thing, but invisible movement in the body. Think about circulation. Can you feel the circulation? We don't, right? So even more. These things and this one inseparable. You see? Now you become advanced, then you see everything within yourself much more. So that means third yoga, the Kundalini, the people call Kundalini or Kundalini, real Kundalini, not just people talking about. Okay? Yeah, real Kundalini. This one, so because that's why you not just Kundalini, I feel this, and it's not like this. Everything inseparable, your movements. Okay? So then the fourth yoga, what happened is, usually we just call tigle. Drop, translation just called drop. Which means, and also people have concept is something very physical. But actually this physical things is not really tigle. They are they are timba. So I don't know how to say. If I put it on this is not phone. This is my phone can stay there, So the physical things usually people tigle, this is like that. Content tigle, maybe you can say. Content the subtleness in there. So now you can work on there. In the fourth yoga time, I mean, already you work in a little degree, yes, but here, now you have much more. You have become experts on this. Okay? So now you see everything, your existence, you seen is extraordinary, the Buddha nature. Step by step, you see like that way. You experience that way. So, and then the fifth yoga time, you don't need any external conditions for Dharma practice, anything. You don't need even consult or anything. You don't need anything. You filled everything a million times within yourself, which means your inner, if you are your male, your inner feminines, you can feel equally as your own masculine nature. Same thing. If it's a female, the same thing. So you are no longer anything, like need external conditions. So then the sixth yoga is about how this all working, how we free in all the, and beginningless in the samsara karmic condition. Everything you free in, basically. And every free in things is extreme joyful, extreme blissful. That's why we call there's numbers and everything. I'll not go details of that. So then it's the Buddhahood, So that. But I want to tell you this. It's not about, it's not everybody, let's say Jonang, everybody minimum have to practice this 3 years full time. But that doesn't mean that all Jonang is enlightened, okay? But what becomes in the past, enter your mastery of the first yoga, you not even move next. But since 19th century, not become like this. Everybody, the lamas, the Dzogchen Papter, and not only Jonang, but the others all help. Lamas, they discuss each other and say, it's so important we not that take long, because everybody important, even people didn't achieve nothing, but they should try all of them, because then even you didn't achieve nothing, it's so important for next life. So that's why everybody go to retreat, and then after people repeat again, they go again. And some people, they don't go the group, but they do by itself. So then this is lifetime goal, lifetime goal, but it's really, really effective. When you're doing this things from beginning, that's usually for beginning and the Jonang practices, people have we call them pario. You completely went from your body. Means you lost all this perception completely, but that's your perception. But we look at this person, they jump everywhere and do like this, and sing and dance and do everything. For instance, right now, if somebody happened, they do these things. They jump everywhere, and sometimes broken things, very pursuit things. You have to be careful. So some people did, like even needle like this, naughty monks, they did needle like this, they can't feel anything. So this is only Jonang has. Nobody know any other tradition. Because that shows the purity of the direct, from the Shambhala. So that's why. Okay? But I think the most important is what the possibility? We have to think about the maximum and minimum. So the maximum possibility is you become fully Buddha before you die. Yeah? Then the second best is you not become a fully Buddha before you die, but through the death process, then you have opportunity, the Buddha nature. No more samsara, temporary samsara collapse. Basically, death means is incredible opportunity. That time you become Buddha. Bardo of Dharmata. Okay? And if then third best possibility, you not become a Buddha, but you become high Bodhisattva in through the Bardo. The fourth is you not become a Buddha or not even Bodhisattva, but you reborn a pure land. Any pure land. Nirmanaka pure land. So the fifth is the most, we can say, guarantee, as long as you are the sincerity practice, regardless your achievement, you are in Shambhala. Next rebirth, image. Once you reborn in Shambhala, then lifetime guarantee Buddhahood. Why? Because Shambhala there is no condition you do any obstacles. Everything progress to the enlightenment very fast. That's why. But Shambhala is why easy than any other Pure Land to reborn, because Shambhala is the only Pure Land we have a direct lineage on this Kalachakra. That's why. Do we have lineage from Amitabha Pure Land? No. Do we have, Akshobhya Pure Land? No, we don't. So, not only that, but Shambhala from the beginning is not like now. It's something similar like us, become transformed like that's incredible because of Kalachakra Tantra. And then we have this opportunity to, this moment we nearly lost, but we haven't lost yet. So that's why I feel, I went Nyoma, Kargil, Gelu, or I received all teachings, lineage, practice, everything. But why I try to do this? Because I feel this is the most urgent, important. That's why we do. But then the problem, people usually go empowerment, not understand nothing. Huh? And then no idea what is Samaya, nothing. Huh? Some people have idea, but again, secondary focus. Secondary focus means what I mean exactly. If I go this empowerment, what kind of sadhana I have to do? How many hours take? Huh? There's any commitments? Then it's maybe it's hesitated. All these burdens, actually is like burden. Why is burden? Because we misunderstand it, mispresenting. Because mispresenting means secondary. It's Tantra and it's not about, you have to do sadhana every day. That's maybe secondary, factors. May you need focus. May you don't need focus. The Tantra's essence, I said before, and the Samaya is also very clear and written. Why we go over the sadhana? Sadhana is the, sadhana or practice. It's just, again, secondary condition. So we have problem not understanding empowerment, or misunderstand empowerment, or even understand little bit, but focus at the secondary factor. That's why I try to no misunderstanding, and we have a book. So one by one, in front in your hands, in your language. So then how can you don't understand? We are step by step. I mean, of course, degrees of understand, how go deeper understanding, every individual can't be same. But you definitely have some ideas. So that's what we do. Okay? So that's why Kalachakra important. Why important? Because we don't want like world like this continue, right? Everybody fighting all the time, many disease, creating so many problems, environmental problem, too many, We learned so many knowledge, and we developed so much scientific discoveries, and we become almost like God. Our technology, everything unbelievable, something, a few hundred years, we cannot even dream this. But our problems, everything didn't increase. In even some ways, didn't decrease. Some ways we increase it. So that's the problem is we have to understand little bit. Where is peace, perfect peace and harmony and prosperity come from Vajrayana. But within the Vajrayana, what is the kin Tantra? Which one is directly from Pure Land? Is Kalachakra Tantra. So that's why we are here. That's why we focusing here. If you have some question, please welcome.
Alexander, are there any online? No, she's in maybe in Chinese.
Yeah.
What?
There was someone who who's in the military. How would they practice the Dharma or reconcile that or protecting people?
In the military.
Yeah, how would they practice Dharma?
In the military, you have to think about I am, whatever I'm doing is for the process of golden age, for the process of this, humanity, this earth going to great transformation, transformation. Regardless, you doing it sounds like very bad or whatever, you have to think about this is, and may this become, and you motivate that way. Yeah? But then whatever your duty, you have to. Whatever choices you have, but the motivation, always you have choice. The mind, nobody can't force you. The only we have choices, our perspective, we can improve. Our attitude, we can improve. Our motivation, we can improve. That's nobody can control you. Physically control you, you don't have much freedom, but your mind, nobody can control. Yeah.
I probably don't need the mic, but I guess I heard your reasoning on why guru yoga is important. I have a lot of resistance individually to taking a guru because of maybe trust, because of the difficulty with putting your devotion into one person in that way. And I heard that you said it's highly suggested or recommended or maybe necessary to have a guru for the Vajrayana practices. But I was wondering, is there any possibility to do Vajrayana practices and not have a guru?
No. But I think it's this, people have it difficult to fully trust, all these things. You have to think about this. It's not just you. So many people, majority, we can say the majority of, unless exceptional people, everybody have this difficult. Okay, first we have to understand everybody has, and we accept that everybody has, and I have this. I have to accept. I accept this. This is who I am, and at this stage, not forever, but at this stage. And then instead, how can I practice Vajrayana without guru? You can try your degree through the love and devotion, trust, everything. You can try your level. You don't have to go jump the high. This is yes, then otherwise no. You don't have to jump from 0 to 100. You just have to accept whatever level I can try. And this, whatever, regardless how low your level, and the trust and believe in pure perception, whatever, is always better than 0. What about that? Better than, oh, I want vagina path, but I cannot trust any guru, zero. That's impossible. Okay, that's I would say clearly not possible. Because I also know some people say, oh, just another guru. I don't need external guru. That means, oh, you already enlightened, or otherwise, otherwise is everybody need process. The external guru is a process connecting your inner guru. That's the, that's why, because first we have much more easier to, I have a Buddha nature, no doubt. I'm a perfect, my depth level is perfect. That's probably harder than there's somebody is better than me. I mean, you don't have to be better than every level of skills, but the spiritual wise, he or she is better than me. I really respect and inspire, try as much as I can. It's not about guru, it's not about a deal, and like you have a deal. It's not about a deal. It's not about negotiation. It's not about negotiation. It's not about deal, yes, deal. It's not that. It's your, once in the development, you try, you're willing to try. It's willingness. Okay.
Could you explain about how you see evaluating a guru or changing a guru according to the Kalachakra?
Evaluating guru.
Yeah. And also, what happens if you leave or change a guru according to Kalachakra?
This distance, like mostly happen in outside Tibet. People have this issue, one guru, two guru, it's a lot of distance. In Tibet, we don't have that much, really. It's, I went to many monasteries, I have many gurus, nobody say, you can't go, nobody. It's everything is our heart, what do you feel and what it's about that. It's about our sincerity and the humility and the sincerity. Those things. It's not about negotiation. Yeah, you mean that?
I was thinking how you told the story before about how it's usually like you can't hear Dharma until you take someone as the guru.
Yeah. Okay.
And also if it's
People take everything literally, not just you guys. Okay, Tibetans even. Tibetans take literally. They say in the text say, first you have to examine guru. Maybe you have to do 12 years, examine the teacher. But after you don't take as a teacher before you examine. But if they recommend it, okay? But after you take as a teacher, then no matter, never judge what guru do. Never judge, okay? Whatever guru do, any bad things, you think, this is my bad karma. It's nothing to do with guru. That's the recommended tradition text, okay? Classical text. I challenge this. Okay? I say, how I challenge it? I say, how you examine guru? Firstly, who has patience 12 years? Who has, in 12 years, do nothing, just examine? Isn't the contradiction of, impermanent death and we don't know tomorrow die is very urgent dharma? You just examine somebody 12 years? I feel it's not even worth it. Okay, I'm challenging the classical text, okay? That's one thing. Second thing, even how do you judge, how you do, examine without receiving any teachings? You don't receive any teachings, that means you don't have any close relationship at all. But because, why I said without receiving teachings, because the classical say, if you receive one verse from any teacher, if you then don't consider as your teacher, you go to dog 100 times, and then after that you born up worms in the poop, on the
Worms in the poo.
okay. So then that means you cannot receive any teachings, even one verse, right? But if you receive, then it's too late. You can't examine. That's I'm challenging. That's not logical to me. That's why my logic is I always have a sincerity, humility, and willingness, to anybody, but you not pretend. When you hit your limitations, you don't have to pretend, right? You don't have to pretend. Many people pretend or inside, don't like this guru at all, don't have respect, zero, but like this, and outside physically. So to me, it's always the most important, your humility, sincerity, less judgmental, or this common sense of politics. Just focus on that. That's my advice. Because I do that way. I do this way. I find this is better. So I recommend other people. Yeah. You have question?
I do, and I want to thank you.
Look.
My question is, there is this belief that there is an opposite location to Tibet, and it is in our southwest, and that there are uncanny parallels between the cultures. It's almost like the sun and the moon. The cultures are so strongly affinitive. I was hoping you might talk to the connections that are, the Karmapa, for instance, came to this country, and that's where he needed to go. If you could talk to the connections of Tibetan Buddhism and our indigenous wisdom traditions. For instance, sand painting. There's a parallel.
Okay. Yes, sir.
What?
Yes, sir.
Oh, he says, he was wondering if you can talk about any relationship you may know between Tibet and then like indigenous Native American Indian type cultures. Some similarities and if there, anything.
Yeah, I'm not expert on that one because I don't know too much the Indian, these things, but I heard only people always thinking the connection, they think similar, they blah, blah, they do this, and once open the earth is like this, and then they open blah, blah, blah. I heard many, okay, but I only heard from other people. I didn't have any examine by myself. Yeah. So, but for me, it doesn't matter what the connection. The most important for us is we are connected because we is mission of the Shambhala. Shambhala's mission is to, transform our humanity, transform our earth much better. So this connection everybody has. So that's the most important for me. sorry for I don't have billion answer for that.
We tried to set up some dialogues of that in the past, and we found it's really difficult. In 2019, we had the Kalachakra in New York, and there was a tribe from South America, like an indigenous tribe that was there, and they believe like everything on the earth and sun and the moon and everything has a relationship spiritually to the body and everything, similar to external and internal Kalachakra a little bit. But we tried to have a dialogue, but the problem is usually like language barrier, and oftentimes they're very interested in what they're doing, and it's difficult to have a clear debate or discussion.
Australian original people also, I met them and they talk about like this. Many people are very enthusiastic, oh, I should meet them, blah, blah. But when they're talking about dream times and blah, blah, they talk about these things, I feel like, oh, like Tibetan villages. So then maybe that's connection.
Thank you, Rinpoche. I'm curious, the Kalachakra, my understanding is that the translation is the wheel of time. And I'm curious about how time is central to Kalachakra and what role that concept plays in this practice.
Many ways to connect, the most simple way connection, the most superficial way we have to understand this, when we say time, we have ideas, all the time, this and always the same thing, and then we have clock and, like this kind of the time is our imputation, our imputation. But the time, the most important, the time is always involved with anything. So that's why the very skillful way, I found very skillful way, say, the wheel of time. So wheel means never end, everything. There's no beginning, no end. Wheel means, or everything, circularly journey, and the time always involved with this, but it's not time we made up like this and then finish this, and it's not like that. That is the more how to say conventional way we can think about. And so then if you think more deeper, then time and will go to this feminine and masculine energy. They can go this further, and then how work together, very well, like electricity, positive charge and negative charge cannot work by itself, always have to work together. So like this way, to understand the wheel of wind and time, instead wheel of time, we say, instead like feminine quality and masculine quality, in that way. And then there becomes like another way, say compassion and the love. And then the another level, say wisdom and methods. And then another level you say, then is like the empty form. Empty, when is empty, the same time form means the form go beyond the form, So that means a simple way to explain is like Vishwamata, the Kalachakra, the feminist aspect. So it's like the ultimate feminine or ultimate beauty, totality of all everything, and then we connect with the supreme immutable bliss, So like that. So it's go deeper and deeper.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Simple question. Can you receive the Kalachakra empowerment if you have fear or if you are afraid?
Of course, you receive. When we say Kalachakra empowerment receive, we should not think everybody is same degree of receiving. Everybody receiving different degrees. But it's not about you have fear or not fear, it's your sincerity and willingness, sincerity and willingness. Then you have guarantee you receive some degree. But we can't say which degree because individuals, it's up to themselves. Yeah.
Thank you for talking tonight. So this weekend's going to be my first time experiencing the Kalachakra empowerment. And if we have time, I was wondering if you could just briefly summarize what I'm about to go through. I mean, is there like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is there some sort of pattern that my brain can wrap around?
She's just wondering what's gonna happen with this Kalachakra empowerment this weekend. Like, what are we doing Friday? What are we doing Saturday? And what are we doing Sunday? That she can kind of prepare her mind.
You said.
Okay. On Friday, Ricochet is going to do some rituals that basically identify you as a student. You're here, you showed up. So, and you thought you were qualified. He's just recognizing that you're here to receive the empowerment and that aspect, and some rituals for the space. So make the space right for the empowerment that he's already started, so that it's basically like, we've asked all the nicely to all the deities to offer us this place for this offering, and then we've like removed all the obstacles and removed it. So that's sort of Friday, and he gives a teaching on how to prepare yourself for the empowerment, like what mindset to have and how not to stress yourself out, and how to relax, basically. Relax, chill out, don't be stressed. And believe that you're gonna get everything. No matter what, you're gonna get as much as you can. Okay, because that's the other thing Rinpoche usually teaches us, that we actually have to take the Kalachakra empowerment again. Many people think it's just an initiation and you take it one time. I think Rinpoche said he's taken 40 something times, or I don't even remember. Yeah. So we should take it as much as we can. And every time our karmic conditions change, so we get the empowerment as much as we can, but we always think we get all of it. Then, yeah, you have to think you got everything you could get right then, right? That you got the maximum at that moment. Then on Saturday, we come in and we do some preparation for the empowerment, to prepare our minds, some purification practice. And Saturday's main thing is all of the vows, like all the opportunities we have to help train ourselves to be able to reach enlightenment that the Buddha gave us. So the refuge, the Bodhisattva vows, the Tantra vows and the 25 conducts. We're preparing vows at this point so that we're like ready. We're preparing ourselves so we're ready to receive the empowerment. We're establishing Samaya, but we're also establishing ourselves on this path. And then a lot of people are confused about that further. So we go a little bit further into what does that look like and mean, so that everybody can relax and be ready to. The relaxing is the key theme for this empowerment. Relax and have faith and think I'm going to get the best and do the best I can, because that's all you can do. And then on Sunday, we come, and then this is when Rinpoche bestows the actual 7 empowerments of a growing child. So the Kalachakra initiation. There's 3 levels of the Kalachakra empowerment, and this is the first sets of empowerment, so that we are able to do the generation practice that Rinpoche mentioned in the path. So that's kind of what the weekend looks like. Yeah.
Okay. So I said I'm doing some revelation way. What I said, if you go others, you don't have to do nothing, just jump there. They tell you nothing, you don't have any preparation whatsoever, and then you just, for recently in Tibet, very big Kalachakra happening. Just finished it yesterday. Okay, so they believe 1 million people there. I don't know, but it's definitely few 100,000. Okay, and they just go there, no explanation, nothing. just go there, listen, not even people not listening, and then that's it. Oh, I got real empowerment. That's it. So I'm doing the opposite, basically, this book and everything, I prepare years on the object and, everything I prepare, years, and that's why the Kalachakra, something like 1,000 people have to voluntary work, and Dalai Lama do 1 year preparation, but this happened in Tibet. Tibet is easy because it's not don't have these rules and everything in the West, not like that. They go all on the field. Everybody bring tent there, and that's it. Huh? So that's what they're doing, but it's still a lot. The huge monastery organizing. So we are here, few people organizing, very few people organize. How instead we can do that the best because of years of preparation, years of analyzing, my thinking and everything. So like this mandala, nobody even used this 3D mandala. We are the first time, except in Shambhala. Okay, so and also Friday night and morning, I have to prepare myself with huge practice. I do maximum thinking 8 hours or 6 hours. Minimum I do 3 hours. Okay, minimum, but more likely I do 8 hours. I do everything. Make sure any imperfection myself. I set up my mind perfectly, environment, everything. Then I welcome you guys. You guys also then before at 30, right?
9 o'clock,
Or 9 o'clock, then you go because you preparing from yourself. So everybody everything is conditional, yeah. Everything is interdependent. We come with conditions, so that's why we try the best possibility. We try, yeah.
Rinpoche has a video online about receiving the empowerment, and it kind of clarifies different levels of receiving the empowerment, but the book is key because the minimum is that you have to understand what you're doing.
Which book? When you
The
say
Kalachakra, you will all get a Kalachakra empowerment book.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in like 10 languages, but we only have English here. If you need a different one, we can give you
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Should I take the mic? Thank you, Rinpoche. We're very much looking forward to attending the empowerment. I'm afraid to ask more just practical details, if I may. And I was wondering if we could know more about the schedule possibly and when we should be here and practical things like that. Is that okay?
Yeah, the schedule's online. It's on the website. It's on the registration page. Actually, no matter if you're coming in person or if you're online, you should have received an email that lets you into our learning center. So we have an online learning center, and inside the online learning center, it has the schedule for every day, and it actually has all the text and prayers. If you're here and you already know you're going to come to the empowerment, I would log in and put the text and prayers on your mobile device, because some of them we hand out in person and some of them are 60 pages. So we just ask people if possible to just use your mobile device because we don't want to waste paper. But also we'll email out the schedule as well. It's just a challenge because there's people in every time zone. So we will email it out, but just pay attention to your time zone. And then, and this is a common question. So if you're in like Israel or I don't know, some country, Indonesia, India, we didn't calculate your time zone. The best way is to find a time zone near you, and then to just go to timeanddate.com and find your time zone for the session. Here it's very easy. You guys can just look for the Boulder time zone. So.
Thank you very much.
Registering online, there was an issue. If we're not registered,
You can just register at the door.
tomorrow.
Yeah, you can register at the door tomorrow, and as you come in and you register and we take it, we will also be letting my assistant know So that you will also be added to the learning center at the same time, right? They're working over the weekend, the support staff to continue to help the people who show up in person and everyone online. If you haven't registered and are thinking of registering, it's much, much better to register now versus be part of like the hundreds of people that decide like 5 minutes before the empowerment or like as it's starting that is the time they want to register. And of course, the registration page closes and then you panic. So it's really good if you know you're going to take it to register now. Yeah, because it's not automated. There's people who have to do things.
Yeah,
And it starts tomorrow at 6:30.
6:30.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
okay, so I think 2 hours passed, so maybe we wrap it.
Wrap up. Okay, thank you, Rinpoche. So we will conclude the prayers by doing a dedication, which goes back to the merit. So page 272 in the book. So we'll do the best job, dedicate the merit to everybody. So then we also get the most merit.
So 270?
270?
72.
And online, this is just the general dedications. By all these virtuous deeds of accumulated merit, may all beings be rescued from the ocean of samsara, where the tide of aging, sickness, and death is violently active. May this merit help all beings attain Buddhahood and be victorious over all the enemies of deceptive obscurations. By the goodness of what I have just done, may all beings complete the accumulation of merit and wisdom and gain 2 sacred bodies. In future lives, may I never be separated from my glorious Lama. May I never be separated from the joy of practicing the precious Dharma. May I accomplish all the enlightened Bhumi levels and paths and attain the Buddhahood of Vajradhara. As long as faith endures, as long as beings exist, may I remain and expel their sorrows until they reach Buddhahood. May the precious supreme renunciation arise, which has not yet arisen. And may that which has already arisen not degenerate, may it increase. May the precious bodhicitta arise, which has not yet arisen. And may that which has already arisen not degenerate, may it increase. May the precious view of the emptiness of interdependence arise, which has not yet arisen. And may that which has already arisen not degenerate, may it increase. May the precious Dharma be respected and remain in this world, the only medicine and cure for suffering. The source of all happiness is the sacred Dharma. By the power of the 3 bodies of the Buddhas, the immutable truth of the Dharma, and by the power of the inseparable union of the Sangha, may all our wishes be fulfilled. Through the ultimate view of the sutras, the great Madhyamika of the Zhentong Middle Way, and the ultimate view of the Tantras, the indestructible 6 yogas of Kalachakra Tantra, may the glorious Jonang tradition forward. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and joy. Glorious Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezi, please remain until samsara ends. Star Kinshal Jonka Lodro, mind of love and compassion, peaceful and gentle in nature, field of manifold appearances, glorious and powerful. Great mind of limitless depth, ocean like treasury, sublime counsel, guiding all beings in a manner suiting their needs. Unification of the 3 trainings, faith, diligence, and concentration. Priceless vitality, courageously manifesting the confidence of wisdom and compassion. Greater peace and harmony, please remain upon your God's throne. May your enlightened activities be accomplished in accordance with your great